This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry. Yeah. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know. Yeah. Whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' head stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we fammed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Cool love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Love with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
No, screw your freedom, because with freedom comes obligations and responsibilities.
What kind of a bitch-ass comment is that?
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing. Testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 24 hundo and 79 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swole, yo, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you
fucking Catalina wine.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine.
All right, what's going on, fam? Welcome to the show. Happy Swole Slut Saturday. Hit that like button and drop a comment down below. What are you smashing today? If you are new, make sure you check all the links in the show notes in order to submit a question, in order to learn more about joining the Swole fam, the greatest fam in the realm. And it's so amazing. We are fresh off some amazing new drops yesterday. We had an absolutely fucking epic overtime segment. And I have to talk about this first before we even get into the tip, fam. If you missed yesterday's overtime, you have to go check it out. We have a brand new DWG. Petey takes it deep in the Buttigieg. All right, very nice. Petey takes it deep in the Buttigieg, deep in the Buttigieg. How many of you have that song stuck in your head? Well, if you want it stuck in your head too, go and check it out. Brand new Drive While Gaining inside Swole TV. We got the Driving While Gaining Uncensored, and of course the overtime segment with all the exclusive edits. It was fire. It was epic. Go and check it out. SwoleNormousX.com. We got all the programs and master classes and yoga and meditation, and we have absolute insanity in our Swole TV overtime segment. So go and check it out. Thank you, all of you, for lending me your brain cells and your ear holes, and I hope to ravage and rape them for the next few days with that song. So very nice. A little America there. And Mark, I'm still singing the Joe Biden song. Oh my God. Joe Biden, why are you crying? Okay. It's one of those days. Happy Swole Slut Saturday. Now, before we keep on, before we all have to just sign off and go and watch the DWG again, I'll let you do that in your own time. Let's get into today's episode. Let's kick it off. We got some great Swole fan posts, and of course, we're going to go balls deep. We'll take some questions. It's going to be a great show. Let's get into it. Here we go, Falcon. Kick us off. Falcon. Let's fucking go. I just remembered. I forgot to put it in the nut. Forgot to put in the nut, so there you go. We busted the nut, but it was kind of like, kind of like a third-party bust. Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. Falcon, you did me dirty again. It's all right. It's all right. I realized once we kicked off the song, it's like, shit, it's not in the fucking nut. It's not in the nut. What are we going to do? All right, hashtag Swole Slut. It's Swole Slut Saturday. And I know one of you out there is a filthy little swole slut. So we'll give this card away to one of you lucky beaches. Let's say hi to the Tainty Man. Aww. Very nice. He's looking very cute. He's all wrapped up snug on his little tainty bed. All right, fam. Let's get into that tip. Shall we dance, moisturize, and spit on it? Pooah. Babe, just an inch, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, so we got some Swole fan posts. Before we do, a reminder, go check out that brand new Drive While Gaining. It's available inside Swole TV for members. You don't want to miss out on that. It was Fucking ridiculous. And of course, we also have Ask Papa Swolio tomorrow. Ask Papa Swolio live tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow morning, and we'll just take tons of questions. So if you didn't get your question featured today, if you don't get your question featured, if you want to call in and you didn't call in time for today's show, head on over to askpapaswolio.com and submit your question. Of course, we'll just do tons and tons of questions tomorrow. But remember, you can drop a question at any time, any day, anywhere, askpapaswolio.com, and get those questions in. That way we can get to them tomorrow. And we'll just take tons and tons of questions tomorrow. Pure questions. All right, we got a good post to kick it off. We got Brandon, steak o'clock. Oh, yeah, very nice.
I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
Nice. You might say, what time is, he wrote steak o'clock. Let me slide that up. What time is steak o'clock? I mean, whenever time you're eating steak. That's pretty much, it's always steak o'clock somewhere. That's all you need to know. We got Brenda flexing on some Swole variant, and holy shit, those abs. Good morning, Swole fam. I've been super consistent with strength training and improving my eating habits more and more. This is me with absolutely no bloat. Yes, at 53 years old, even as a, quote, apple and cook shape. I think that's a typo there. I don't know what you're trying to say. You can have abs. And thanks to Papa's advice on increasing frequency of training, my arms are starting to grow. Very nice. Thanks for sharing, Brenda. Hashtag Swole Gains, indeed. Talk about a swole slut. Talk about a swole slut. Preach. All right, we got one here from Nancy. And Nancy says, hello, my name is Nancy. I'm French. I hope I'm not doing too much wrong. You're off to a great start. I've always liked training, but in 2019, I gave birth to a little girl at the age of 46. And with the pandemic, I'm still an extra 15 pounds over. For the first time, I feel that the motivation is not always there. I hope that watching your stories will encourage me. I think it will. And oh my God, that is an adorable little girl. Congratulations. That's fucking awesome. 46. Wow. Nice. Nice. Good for you. Good for you. Very cute. You can see the same smile. Very, very cute. Thank you for being here. Very excited and glad that you're going to be inspired and improving your health. And you have a little one to lead along with you. So that's very important. We talked about that every day, but we talk about it, I think, yesterday specifically, that if you have children, that should be all the motivation you need. A lot of people say, hey, well, I'm busy and I have 2 kids or 3 kids or whatever it is. And I don't have kids yet, but I'm still going to be training, and you have to lead by example. They are watching you. They're watching what you eat. They're looking and they're assessing why you do the things you do. They don't understand why you do things. You need to explain and you need to lead. Before they can formulate language, their language is you displaying your habits. So if you are taking care of yourself and you're making these choices, they're going to be influenced by that. And of course, they're going to grow up to be their own people. You can't control what they do for their entire lives. But what you can do is educate them and explain why you're doing what you're doing. And you're doing it for yourself anyway. So again, you're doing this for yourself. You are following the 7 pillars for you. If you don't know what the 7 pillars are, you haven't downloaded, swolenormousx.com, links down below. But if you are doing this for you anyway, then that's the leading by example. So you're doing it for you, and it's going to rub off on the people around you, especially your kids and your friends and your family. So rather than trying to encourage or push people that you care about, not just kids, just lead by example, because you're doing it for you anyway. Just cut negativity out of your life. And if they want to hop on board, they'll see you doing it. They'll see you getting amazing results, and they'll make those changes. All right, Stephanie just did a couple swollen 7s. Breakfast was eggs and leftover shrimp from last night. On my way to being as healthy as Lizzo. Ooh, oh my God. Hopefully you're not as healthy as Lizzo.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
As healthy as Lizzo. You want to be healthier than Lizzo, which pretty much means waking up and breathing. But to be as healthy as Lizzo, Steffi, we rest in peace. My goodness. Good stuff. Sounds like you're on point. That's an inside joke if you're new to the show. TCAP. Doctor was impressed by blood pressure that went down, and I cut a few pounds since my last visit January of 2022. She seemed really impressed. Wait until they see the cholesterol. Ha ha. Nice. So TCAP, you're watching live. Was there any updates with the cholesterol? If you don't know, if you want to read a great book on explaining why cholesterol or high cholesterol is a fucking bullshit metric, check out The Great Cholesterol Myth. But obviously, high cholesterol does not mean anything in terms of your risk for heart disease and stuff like that. No shit. Yeah. Yep. You definitely called it. Shocker. TCAP says, I called it, Papa. I called it. They want me on a statin. I'm sure they do. My mom, her cholesterol was, elevated according to these bullshit metrics, and they want to put her on a statin. She goes, no way. They wanted her eating vegan or like all this plant shit. And I was like, they are out of their fucking minds. Yeah, TCAP, just read through that book. Isn't it great? How many of you read that book? How many of you checked out The Great Cholesterol Myth? That's in the Amazon store. That's in my Amazon store. I think they have it on Audible and other things too, but I bought the book. It's just great. It's a great thing to reference. Some people, especially if they're parents of yours and things, they need to see it in print. Statins are terrible for you. Terrible. All right. Those are all the Swole fan posts. If you want to join all those amazing people and myself, swolenormousx.com. Round of applause. Knowledge cock time. Knowledge cock time.
He's heating up.
All right.
Because stickers?
So let's get into it. Let's take a question first from Anthony. Can I call you Antonio? Thank you. Antonio is on the line, eh?
Hey, Papa Swolio. Hope you're doing well, man. Still loving your content. You're a badass. Everybody knows it. Hey, just my question is, what are you smashing your eye holes with these days? What are you reading? Personal development is the only thing I really enjoy reading since high school. I haven't been able to finish a book unless it's personal development, and can't get enough of it now. So looking for my next read. Just curious. I know you have a whole library, but just curious what you might be reading right now, if you are reading anything. All right, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Later.
Anthony, thanks for the call. At night, I like to read science fiction. I'm actually going through Isaac Asimov Foundations again. So I like reading science fiction at night because it allows my brain to kind of go into fantasy world. And if I read a book that's informational, it's gonna keep me awake. It's not something. I listen to a lot of podcasts, by the way. So podcasts for one thing. In terms of books, I'm always kind of reading a lot of books. I have a lot of books I flip through. So The Great Cholesterol Myth, I go through that. That's been on the countertop. Psychology of Money, I read recently. Again, that's great. There's a lot of good. So that's a good book. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. What's another? I feel like I was reading another one. Yeah. Anyway, those are some ideas. I have a bunch of books on the Amazon store if you want to look into it. I always forget because sometimes I listen on Audible. I'm usually going back and forth through a bunch, but those are some good books. Yep. All right. Nothing really to report aside from that right now. Let's see. Daniel Nielsen, Papa Swolio, I take 1200. But that book, The Psychology of Money, it doesn't talk about, I don't think it refers to Bitcoin at all. So if you really want to get into a good book or learn or get a lot more perspective, The Psychology of Money is a great book. I'm not reading that right now, but that's a great book that I recommend people read. Daniel, I take 12,000 IU of vitamin D daily. Max dose here in Sweden says 4,000, but I think that's bullshit, right? I don't think you need to take 12,000. Usually it's like what, 5,000 or 10,000? Or pills are usually 5 or 10,000. Max dose by what metric? A lot of times those recommended dietary allowances and these things are the bare minimum. A lot of times that's the bare minimum for like a functional human being. So most of those nutrition fact things, this is this percentage, it's bullshit. It also depends on what type you're consuming with a lot of these minerals and vitamins, what compound and what type. So that's fine. I don't think you're gonna have any problems, especially in a climate like Sweden where you're not getting a lot of sun in the winter. Or all year round, that altitude, that latitude, you're not going to get a ton of vitamin D. I think you also get vitamin D from deep cold water fish if I'm not mistaken. But, beef liver, but I think like cold water fish. So that's where a lot of that vitamin D will come from up there in the northern areas. Cal, I'm eating roughly 60 grams of beef liver 3 times a week. Is this too much? 60 grams. How many ounces of that? I don't do the grams. I know 454 grams in a pound. So divided by 6, that's like 1/8 of a pound. So what is that, like an ounce, or is that 2 ounces? Is that 2 ounces? Is 60 grams 2 ounces? Did I do that math properly? Because 2 times 8 is 16 ounces, is 480. So that's like a little bit less than 2 ounces. Can someone do that math, please? 2 ounces 3 times a week. No, that's not too much. You could do an ounce, or you could, like, it depends on your training. It depends on your training, and your lean body mass and stuff like that will determine how much you can consume. So you could do an ounce a day, which would be, if you do an ounce a day, it's 7 ounces a week. So you're doing 6 ounces a week. That's fine. You might even be able to up it a little bit. It's going to vary. You're not going to overdose doing even 2 ounces a day. That's kind of like nonsensical. If you have issues, if you have a lot of existing organ malfunctions, you might want to ease into it different. But as long as you feel fine, you're fine. That's definitely not too much. You could do between like 8 and 16 ounces a week. So it depends, but I would always do less and then build up and then see how you feel. But like a couple ounces a day or every other day is totally fine. 2.11 ounces and 60 grams. Fuck yeah. Look at me. Look at me. I'm speaking all these different languages, telling people to go to the fucking gym, like in 5 or 6 different languages. I'm going to end up eventually by the end of this year, I'm going to be able to tell people to go to the fucking gym in probably 20 languages. So what have I done so far? I haven't posted a Portuguese one, but I did it. So I got what? English, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese. So I got 5 so far. Wait till some of the other videos coming out soon. I'm going to get Hindi. I have Chinese, but that's fucking intense. So I'm going to be doing a lot. Hindi is going to be fucking awesome. We're going to see how viral those goes, because there's like there's 1.5 billion Indians. It's going to be intense. Anyway, if I travel the world, I'm just going to be able to yell at people to go to the fucking gym. Just walk down the street and yell at people. All right, let's see. Another question. Phone call from Earl. Earl, you're on the Sleazecast.
What kind of questions are you asking for? Give us anything. I'll ask you, what is your favorite book and or intellectual aspiration? Because, your brain gets worked when you work out anyway, so unless that's false. Please tell me if that's false.
Your brain gets, well, thanks for the call. Your brain gets worked when you work out. Yes and no. Not intellectually. Your brain gets, it's, the physiological benefits are fantastic. So it's benefiting, everything's connected. So let's stop for one thing. We say works your mind, body. There's no difference. There really isn't a difference. Your mind, your body, it's all interconnected. So this is the reason why, and I'll just rant for a second, that mainstream or the medicine, when people segment, you go to your, you go to like your digestive doctor, then you go to your hormone doctor, endocrinologist, and then you go to your heart doctor. We need people that are looking at the body in totality. When you separate the parts of the body, it depends. For surgery, that makes sense. If you're an expert at doing surgery on the intestines or the stomach or the liver or the bones, like an orthopedist, if you're an expert in doing specific things when it comes to surgery, but when it comes to assessing someone's health, you need to look at it from a holistic standpoint. You need to look at all the systems together, right? We know that the gut-brain axis, the inflammation that comes from leaky gut, everything's, and hormones, it's all connected. So when you separate parts of the body, it doesn't really work that way. So anyway, there's that when it comes to the training of the mind and the body. When it comes to, what'd you say, like my favorite book? I hate picking favorites of anything, but when it comes to like general books like science fiction, Hyperion, that series is my favorite science fiction series. One of my favorite books of all time is 48 Laws of Power by Robert, what the fuck is, I never remember authors' names. Anyway, so that's a great book. In the Amazon store, I have a lot of books listed. So there's a lot of great books. Dune is great for science fiction, but if you're looking for self-help or intellectual books like that, there's a lot of them. It's always hard for me to recall the names of all these books on the spot. For some reason, I just don't retain the names of things. Some people remember like the name of the book and the author and this, and it's just, I just don't keep that kind of information in my head, but I like but the information I do. Yeah, Robert Greene, that's it. With an E at the end, Greene. I always forget the books, I always forget the names of the books. Okay, interesting. 2 book questions. Strange how sometimes the questions that we get are like the same. All right, let's get into a couple more questions. If you have it, drop in the comments, #AskPapaSwolio. And we'll get into a couple Instagram questions. Please ask a live question because we're getting into the Instagram world, which these questions are going to be a hot fucking mess. Huna. Papa Swolio, why I keep failing to stay disciplined? Because you think of discipline as something that you are entitled to have. You're failing to stay disciplined because you're not being disciplined. It's like chicken. Like you're not disciplined because you're not being disciplined. It's just doing it consistently, doing things that you need to do consistently, whether you like to do them or not, whether you want to do them or not. That's discipline. You don't feel like training today? Fuck you. Go to the gym, train. You don't feel like it. I was going to train earlier and I hit like a wall myself and I just didn't get my workout in this morning. I kind of did a little warm up and I wasn't feeling it. So I came and did the show. I'm still going to train after, but called an audible, but I'm still going to do it. So if you don't feel like doing it, you do it anyway. Discipline is that kind of execution. All right, let's see here. Anas Alami. Papa Soul, you mentioned organs a lot. Which organs specifically do you recommend? Liver, heart, and bone marrow are good ones to start with. Liver is probably the most important. I shouldn't say probably, it is. So if you're going to have any organ, grass-fed beef liver, that's the one to go to first. Heart, kidney, spleen, pancreas, all those are great too, but liver you can have in small amounts every day. It's fantastic. It's nature's multivitamin, but the ones I mostly do, heart, bone marrow, and liver primarily. Angel marks. Papa Solio, unfortunately, I'm sick, so no lifting since my joints hurt, but I am staying hydrated and stretching. Anything else I can focus on while sick? Yes, sleep, bone broth is fantastic. Meditation is great. And sounds like you're doing everything. Sounds like you're doing it already. If you have access to a sauna or cold plunge, you can do that. But remember, your body is fighting off whatever it is. Sleep is the number one thing that you can do when you're not feeling well. Proper nutrition, proper hydration, electrolytes, and allowing your body to repair. And your body is repairing the most while you're sleeping. Okay, that 3.7 guy, what is the best way to drop fat, stop eating garbage, and getting more sleep? All right, I'm just going to leave that there. That's such a vague question, and I hate fucking vague questions like that, lazy questions, but the 7 pillars. The 7 pillars. All right, Amart 402, Papa Soya, best at-home workout with dumbbells besides curls. Curls is a waste of an exercise in terms of making full body change. That's an isolation exercise. Best at-home workout. There is no best anything. I don't know what kind of dumbbells you have, your experience, your nutrition. So presses, rows, shoulder presses, curls, tricep extensions, lunges, squats, RDLs, like fucking any exercise. Don't be lazy. Come on, fam. Bird, BYRD 46. Papa Soy, do you do any kettlebell workouts? I do. I might actually do some kettlebell swings today. I did some heavy kettlebell swings the other day went up to the 150. I have up to 203. It's a fucking beast. Love kettlebells, and one of the best exercises, if not the best exercise you can do with kettlebells is a kettlebell swing if you do it properly. Grizzly, Papa Solio, what's a good starting weight for sled pulls? Are you referring to the reverse sled, like walking? It depends on the resistance, because I'm outside pulling on grass. There's going to be more things catching onto the sled, and there's more friction. If you're doing it on turf, you can pull more weight with less friction generally, depending on like the material on the surface. So if you're doing reverse sled pulls, it's something that you want to do frequently, like maybe 100 or 200 meters every day, light. You don't need to be crushing yourself. So I have like 245s or a 45 and a 35 on the sled. Outside, I just leave it on there all the time in the rain, whatever. And I just go out and hook up my belt to it, walk back and forth. I walk to one end of the yard and back. And I either do that one time, like there and back, or there, back, and there and back. And that's it. So I just walk backwards just to get a warm up. Because when it comes to the ligaments and the tendons and the knee, it just needs to be more volume and more frequent. So that's why with like swinging a club, you want to go lighter and swing it more frequently. You don't want to just go super heavy and take long breaks in between. You want to build up that kind of fluid, gets the fluids, circulating into like the joints and the joint capsules. You just want those repetitions because the tendons and ligaments don't get the same type of blood flow like the soft muscle tissue does, especially the ligaments. So you want to strengthen those connections between the bones, the joints. So just need to make sure that you are doing it more frequently. So if you want to train something more frequently, you have to drop the volume and the overload. So I would do, a good starting weight, just put a 45 on. That might be really light if you're doing it inside. It might be too light. So 1 to 2 45s on there. Start with one and just do a bunch. Just do more repetitions. When in doubt, just do more repetitions with a lighter weight and then see how you feel the next following days. Remember, whatever you need to do to get the frequency up. Tanner, are liver capsule subs comparable to actual liver, raw/cooked? In my opinion, no. Are they comparable? Depends on the quality, depends on how they're processed. It's definitely not the same as the whole food, but it can be a decent alternative if you don't have access to it. But if you can, I would get it. I would get the real thing. But I've taken the capsules and I felt a benefit. But it's hard to tell whether or not it's more placebo or you're actually getting benefits. But if you don't have access to the raw liver, you could do desiccated tablets. Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card.
Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Uncle John. Uncle John with the question of the day. Anchorman or Step Brothers? Ooh, I've seen Anchorman many more times. It's a good question. It's a good fucking question. I think it's going to have to go Anchorman. I think Anchorman might be more rewatchable. Yeah, that's a tough one. They're both great, but I think if there was one that got the edge, I think it might be Anchorman. It's a close one. Though. That's a tight squeeze. I have no qualms giving the edge to Anchorman, but giving the edge to Step Brothers, I'm like, I think the comedic timing. I think the comedic timing in Anchorman is slightly better. They're both fucking good. You're talking about two brilliant films. Masterpieces. Branislav Blasko. I struggle to lose fat, so is it enough just lifting weights or I have to do cardio? Comes down to all your habits, sleep, nutrition, all those things. Do you have to do cardio? I think you should. Whether or not you're running a marathon a couple times a week, you don't have to be killing yourself with cardio. So if you're struggling to lose fat, it's probably inflammatory foods, sleep quality, what foods you're eating, other endocrine disruptors in your environment, lifting enough weights, training hard enough, all those things. These Instagram questions are all really just vague. Best meal plan for weight loss. Check out our content on the elimination diet. Head on over to swolenormousx.com. Best meal plan for weight loss. All right. Robert Rebecca. Papa Swolio, what's the most important thing someone 16 to 17 years old should know about the gym? It's for the rest of your life. It's going to take a long fucking time. Make wise choices. Think long term when you're training. Think long term. Understand that your inputs are going to result in the output, and progress is slow and steady. So as a young man today or woman, you need to understand that fitness and the adaptations from fitness comes from things outside the gym if not more so than what's inside the gym, because all the habits you have to set outside the gym, including getting your ass to the fucking gym, whether it's your house or an actual gym. Everything in this world is instant gratification, and you're going to be subjecting yourself to a lot of pain, to a lot of struggle. You're not going to feel like it most of the time, and it's going to take years to make progress. So anyone that tells you otherwise, that there's like quick fixes and shortcuts, nonsense. And you're just getting started. Like, that's around the time when I started training. So I would recommend you download the 7 pillars, because I wish I knew about the 7 pillars when I started training. That's the thing. It's for the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with having goals or things you're trying to achieve, like you're trying to put on more muscle, but your self-worth and your success should not be based on whether or not you hit 190 or 195 in terms of your body weight. Same thing with weight loss. People put all this stress on, like, I want to get to this number on a scale. It's just some easy fucking lazy way to it's an easy lazy metric. You step on the scale, oh, 250, oh, 245, oh, 244. It's a mindless way to assess your progress. That's why people like it. It's because it's fucking easy to measure. You understand, ooh, 4 is less than 5. Oh, 5 is less than 7. Oh, I'm making progress. It doesn't mean that you're actually doing things properly. It doesn't mean that you're doing things healthily. It doesn't mean that you're building muscle. It doesn't mean that doesn't let you know if you're consistent. So it's really not a great way to measure progress. It's one way to measure change in absolute mass. It doesn't tell you anything about muscle or fat or your consistency or your sleep habits or your nutrition or your time management. So doesn't mean that it's not good information to have, but it's just not it's not the be all end all. People put way too much pressure on what the scale says. Mackenzie, I never see the same results I feel most women get from hip thrusts. What's your thoughts on a lot of female trainers' advice for glute growth and workouts you prefer? Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people are going to get results from different exercises. So one of the untold secrets is that an exercise that one person uses that they feel a lot or they get a lot of results from doesn't necessarily translate to another person. There are some basics and some general, but there's a lot of different nuance and changes that you can make to each of the classic exercises. Some people might like standard squats. Some people might like heels elevated squats. Some people might like Bulgarian split squats. Some people might like walking lunges more. I mean, it's okay to mix up some of these things, but hip thrusts are good. I think a lot of people, I mean, it can be done improperly. It can be done with limited range. A lot of people have postural distortions that they're not getting the most out of those exercises because they have imbalances that keep their body from activating the glutes in those types of positions. So, I mean, squats, for example, is not a glute exercise. People that say, oh, squats are for glutes, you know, you're putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. They're better exercise for glutes than squats. That should be more of a quad focused exercise. You want to work more glutes, do RDLs, do Nordic curls, do kettlebell swings. You could do Bulgarian split squats. You could do, a lot of other exercise in order to target the glutes. So, and one thing that I will say that a lot of like stuff you see on like influencers and girls that have like a butt, a lot of times they're arching their back too much. They genetically have like a smaller waist, so it looks like it. Most of the women, and this is not like, I mean, most people in general, but most of those fucking women that show like, here's my workout for, to build a booty, and their form sucks. Their form sucks. It's fucking genetic. They have that shape for genetics a lot. They show their squats and their thrusts, and their form is just fucking god awful on all the exercise. It's like shit. People look at someone with a body like that, or they want that body, and they're copying the fucking garbage form that they're showing online. So anyway, another thing that I'll say about, because you're saying a lot of female trainers. So, I mean, if you give me some specifics, I can give you that. But what I see a lot of people do is too much, the fancy shit. They do fancy shit. They'll like put a cable on their ankle and do kickbacks. Like they do like these stupid fucking exercises. They do this stupid shit that's not actually going to get them more muscle. Basics work for male and for female. Anyway, that's just a general answer to a general question. But not every exercise is going to target, because sometimes you might have longer thighs or shorter legs, and certain exercise might not be ideal. So it really depends on your body structure and your muscle compensations. And this comes from experience, from trying different things. You'll find an exercise that really hits like, oh my God, I really felt that one. That really isolated something, or I really felt the hell. So maybe that's something you should go all in on and more. There should be certain exercise that you focus more on. When you find something that works really well for you, push on that and do that more frequently. Let's see. Carson, what do you think of smoked barbecue, brisket and ribs and such, aside from it being tasty? Anything in the smoking process that's unhealthy? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Might be. I wouldn't doubt it. I don't do any of it. I don't smoke anything or something myself, but it seems like there could be carcinogens or something that's maybe building up. I don't know the details of that, to be honest with you. I don't do it, so I don't really concern myself with it. But I've thought about, oh, maybe I should get a smoker. Maybe I should get this. I just like cooking my shit so simply. I don't want to set up something and go through the whole process of, I want to find the tastiest, easiest way to prepare stuff so I can be consistent and execute on it and not have to overthink it. Like some people do this whole process where they'll put in the oven and then do here and then measure the temperature. It's like, fucking cook the shit. Get it in your face. Mackenzie, I couldn't agree more. Genetically, I have a swimmer's body, in quotes. So my back and upper body respond much faster than my legs, and glutes definitely wasn't blessed with a typical hourglass. So, I mean, it depends on the individual. There might be, again, if you try something and it really targets the area and you really feel it there, then push on that more, then focus on that more. It's just like there's so many exercises, and I sometimes have that issue where I'm going to start a workout and then it's like, fuck, there's 15 exercises I kind of want to do all at the same time. So sometimes I get like this overwhelm myself. Like I want to do all these different things, but you have to pick something. So my recommendation is that anyone that feels that, oh, there's so many different options. If you get overwhelmed with all the different options for a workout or something like that, go to the basics. Just be like, you know what? Fuck it. There's always more time. You could always do something else in the future. Just go basic. If you're like, oh, there's so many different options, I don't know what I want to do today, just fucking do squats. Do squats and RDLs or in good mornings and just fucking crush that and call it a day. Just like with the 7 pillars. So anytime you get, like, I'm going to do that today. Because this morning I was going to do, it was one of those mornings where like, you go to pour this and then it was one of those mornings, this didn't happen with the coffee, but today I had one of those mornings where I went to do this and then a piece broke off and I went to do coffee and then, it knocked over and it spilled. And I went over here and then I burned my stomach, or I went it was just a cascade. It was almost like one of those mornings where, should I just go back to bed and wake up again and start from scratch? So I didn't get my workout started. I was kind of like, I don't know what I want to do today. It was like sunny. So I was going to take out the machines and got cloudy. I'm like, oh, maybe it's going to rain. I was like, hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do the show. I was going to train early and then I'm just going to do it later. But I didn't know where to start today. I didn't know what I was feeling, because I usually go instinctual and like, I was kind of tight, but I kind of wanted to go heavy, but I kind of feel a little bit stiff because I did go heavy with kettlebell swings. I think that kind of took a little bit more out of me than I realized. So I haven't recovered as much from a couple days ago. So it's just one of those things. When you are in between, go basic. So today it's like, all right, there's so many other these fancy exercise or like single leg curls or whatever it is. I'm just going to go and do some basic fucking shit. So it's like 7 pillars. So like right there on the right side of your screen. If you're unsure, just make sure you're hitting that. Okay. Sometimes you're going to feel anxiety. You're going to feel overwhelmed. Okay. Am I taking care of my community, my environment? Am I eating quality food? Did I train today? Okay. How do I execute my training? What's the lowest common denominator of how I execute my training? Grab a club, grab a mace, go do some sled, just get started, do something. Maybe for whatever reason it's off today, but at least you're going to keep treading water, and then tomorrow you can push harder. You're not going to push hard every single day, but you got to be consistent. So what can I do today to make sure I'm hitting pillar number 7, right? Recovery, mobility. Did I meditate? Maybe you didn't have time or you're stressed out. You're like, it's just not a 30-minute meditation day. Fine. Sit down, breathe, Set a timer for 5 minutes. Cool, done, moving on, right? As long as you're doing the 7 pillars every day, are they going to be perfect? Is it going to be ideal? How do you define that? So again, you have to go to the lowest common denominator in order to be successful every day. It doesn't mean you go lazy. It doesn't mean that you do the bare minimum every day and you're going to get amazing results, but you do the best that you can to hit those 7 pillars, and don't worry about it being perfect every day. Do the best that you can and then reassess, and tomorrow the sun will rise and you do it again. Michael, do you keep track of PRs or best as a progress marker? I don't. I tried like writing down some of the stuff that I was doing and like keeping track of some of my training a couple weeks ago, and I just stopped. I fell out of it. I just don't care that much to track. I'm not trying to hit PRs. I know about like where I'm at for certain movements, but I'm not really pushing for PRs per se. All up in the old noggin. Sometimes I'll jot it down, but I'm not sitting there. I'm not trying to hit PRs. I don't have like weight goal. My goals are not like strength based like that. They are in some cases, like with my maces and clubs, but that takes so much time. That's so many repetitions. That's so much time swinging. You don't jump up. You're not jumping up quickly. So it comes to doing like thousands of repetitions with like 12 kilogram meals. And then you go to like the 15 kilogram, and then you go, or not 15 kilogram, but 15 pound. Like it's a slow process with that. So when it comes to other types of strength, I'm not necessarily tracking that in super detail. Creatine's fine for women. Sure. Creatine's great for men and women. Just start supplementing. If you're a female, start with 3 grams a day and see how you feel. And then after a couple of weeks, you can bump it up to 5 grams and see if you feel more. It depends on your lean mass and how hard you're training, but there's nothing wrong with supplementing with creatine. You're getting it from red meat, but obviously to get 3 or 5 grams of creatine a day with red meat, you're going to be eating a ton of red meat, and you're not really going to hit that number. So the supplementation can help top it off what your body's storage limits are. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Michael. Mike says that's cool. It's such a high when you hit a new weight, for example, on bench press. I agree. As long as it's not something that you're resting your progress and like you get that quote high or that like, oh, that satisfaction. But then when you don't hit it, or you lose a little strength, or you fluctuate, are you getting bummed out? Are you stressed out? So the pursuit of strength, it's fine. It's great. It's very important, but not at the expense of like, oh, I'm not making progress because the weight, it won't continuously go up forever. So I think it's beneficial to have other sorts of markers and progress markers in order to make you satisfied. This is why I like clubs and circular training with the maces and the clubs and the meals and the jories and things like that, because the progress is in like the length and the endurance, and there's many more ways to make progress, and it's perfect as you get older and as you're like, stop like trying to deadlift, it balances out the strength training in terms of like the type of pursuit. It's a good tempering for the ego as well. All right, hashtag Swole Slut. Great questions today, actually. Yeah, Angel, I used to be obsessed with higher numbers on weights, but now I focus on calisthenics. Like pistol squats, and I feel better and look better too. I think mobility metrics, how long you're holding a pose, getting deeper into a stretch and holding, or a certain mobility thing like that. Like with the clubs, it's very mobility based. It's strength based, but it's also mobility based. I think that's much more of a beneficial pursuit to push for with mobility, because you'll get more benefits out of it. All right, balls deep time. It is Swole Slut Saturday after all.
That's deep.
Right. Fam-wise, let's get into it. A reminder before we move forward, we do have P3S6 dropping on March 11th. That's a 24-hour release, so stay tuned for that on the date of episode 2500, 21 days away. And of course, we got a brand new Drive While Gaining Uncensored for members available in Swole TV. Petey takes it deep in the Buttigieg.
Emotional damage.
Oh my goodness. You're not going to want to miss that. Available inside Swole TV. We featured the release in yesterday's overtime segment. Now let's get into some absolute chunder. Let's get into some chunder. And of course, if we're talking about apparel, check out the brand new Fuck Your Pink drink. Use code Daily Swole for 10% off. Got to resize all these images. So we have all those new designs. We have the Kiss Me I'm Swole for St. Patrick's Day. We have the Irish beard logo, Go to the fucking gym. That's an awesome one. And of course, Swole Muscles Matter. Some new designs, some new drops. And we might even have some more coming up on Monday. But use code Daily Swole for 10% off all apparel. And another final reminder, tomorrow is our Sunday Funday Q&A. So submit your questions. If you didn't get your question answered today, go to askpapaswolly.com and call in, and we'll feature it in tomorrow's episode. Tons of questions, only questions tomorrow. Only questions tomorrow.
What's in the box?
Dodson, we've got Dodson here.
All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, it is spicy. It's spicy. All right, we don't have any appetizers per se. Let's get, one says save this for last. Oh, so I guess we're saving it for last. Let's do BMI. Oh, we got a lot of, this is great. I think we got a triplicate of racism today. So we have BMI is racist. BMI racist. Let's kick it off. Balls deep, fam.
What's in the box?
Balls deep. BMI racist. BMI is racist.
How is one's BMI a racist tool exactly?
Yikes.
Well, I wouldn't phrase it like that. I would say, how is the BMI a racist tool? And I'm glad you asked. Okay, you can pause to read if you want, but essentially, this guy Quitlet, who is not a physician.
Is her bodysuit the galaxy? Jesus Christ. That's not something that should be, literally. It's space. It's outer space. Apparently, we have a 10th planet.
His studies included astronomy, mathematics, statistics, and sociology. It says that his work was aimed at identifying characteristics of the average man, to whom that represented the
Lupe says that's the whole universe. Fam, she literally is wearing the observable universe. That's great.
Oh, you can.
Okay.
Emotional, damn it.
The observable universe.
Ideal. The same guy basically is credited with co-founding the school of positivist criminology, which later you can say the positive school laid the groundwork for criminologists who believed that people of color were a separate species and were savages at birth, identified by physical characteristics that he claimed linked them to primates. Quintelet believed that the mathematical mean of a population was its ideal, and his desire to prove it resulted in the invention of the BMI, a way of...
I stopped listening, but BMI is not racist. BMI is accurate. You just don't like it because it tells you how fat you are objectively. You don't like the equation that tells you that you're fat. I'm just going to come right out and say it. The BMI is unnecessary. Do you know why it's unnecessary? Because no one actually needs BMI to tell someone else that they're fat. You can use your eyes. BMI is a numerical calculation of what your eyes see. If you're muscular, it's not accurate because lean mass is going to weigh more. So if you know what BMI is, it takes your height and weight. What is it? Your height, your weight, or your height divided by your weight, or your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared, something like that. It doesn't, just Google it. It doesn't matter. A BMI is accurate. It tells you, hey, you're wider than you should be for your height. Right? You know, your hip waist ratio is also a good measurement, but hey, you shouldn't be that horizontal. You shouldn't be wider than you are tall. That's what the BMI says. It's a metric, but at the same time, you can use your eyes. Hey, you look like a beach ball. You should probably go to the fucking gym. So the BMI is just not really necessary. It's not really a necessary tool. Doesn't mean it's not accurate. It gives you an idea. It gives you an idea. Hey, you're wider than you should be. Stop eating cake.
Quantifying the average man. Except it's solely on the size and measurements of French and Scottish participants. That is, the index was devised exclusively by and for Western Europeans. And it says by the turn of the next century, his average man was used as a measurement of fitness to parent and as scientific justification for eugenics. Okay. Which is the systemic...
I'm done. I'm done.
You murderate me.
If you're just listening, she had purple hair. She was obese herself and was wearing a jumpsuit that featured the observable universe. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. BMI is not racist. Look, you can make the argument that something came from someone somewhere that had a slave or that ancestors. Okay. Something was, oh my God, something was created before you were born. Something was created in the 1800s and the 1900s. Oh my God. Something was created in the 1970s. Something was created in the 1920s. Oh my God, people existed before me? Okay, and what? And what? Show me someone that doesn't exercise. Show me someone that doesn't exercise and their BMI and tell me it's inaccurate. For real. Look at that. Look at the details and be like, "Oh, it is actually accurate." For people that don't exercise, look at BMIs. If you don't exercise and you do a BMI and it says obese, guess what they're going to look like? Guess what someone who doesn't exercise and they have a BMI that's going to put them in the obese category. Guess what they're going to look like? Fat. Oh, my BMI. They're going to look fat. Why? Because they have a lot of body fat. They're going to look huge. Any questions? Any questions? No one's, unless you're a bodybuilder, no one's coming in the obese category inaccurately. You're only there because you have more human flesh on your body than you should at your height. There's no reason for you to have that much extra body fat. You know, you're hating on the measurement when the measurement literally, there's nothing racist about your fucking height and your weight. It's your lifestyle habits that are putting so much extra flesh on your body. Why are you eating excessively? Why are you damaging your body so much? Why aren't you exercising and eating real fucking food? But understand, it's like stepping on a scale. Again, the BMI is not the be all end all. If you step on a scale, it doesn't tell you what your composition is. It just tells you your overall mass. It doesn't tell you if you're 3% body fat or you're 50%. It just says, hey, the amount of mass you're putting on this scale, this is the weight of whatever is on the scale right now. This is how much the earth is pulling this into the core of the earth. Mass attracts mass. The earth is a lot bigger than a human, so it's pulling the humans in. It pulls things towards the center of the earth. That's what gravity does. Mass is what creates. Okay. So anyway, that's all it is. But it's an accurate measurement based on what it's measuring. That's all it is. You step on a scale, the scale's not going to tell you more than just, hey, here's what's on the scale. But if you do body fat composition, you do BMI, you step on a scale, you do circumferential measurements, you can get a pretty good fucking idea. Hey, you're not healthy. And again, I could tell you what your BMI is. I could tell you what that result is just by looking. Hey, you're fat. I can tell you don't exercise or take care of your health. Why? Because you look like a fucking beanbag. Do you need a quantifying measurement? Oh my God, the person that created this, I don't know, said something about black people at one point 200 years ago. Great. Cool story. Cool story. Oh my God, this person had beliefs that you didn't agree with? What does that have to do with you eating Taco Bell 3 times a week? Okay.
How shall we fuck off, oh Lord?
Let's move on. All right, save this for last. So that means we're doing white cis women.
What's in the box?
Oh my God, women.
Oh boy. White cis women, we need to talk.
Are there any women here today?
You don't have to speak that closely. I don't need to see your pores. Oh, goddamn. White cis women, we need to talk. Oh, it's urgent. It's urgent. It's
Shut
urgent.
Up, bitch.
It's urgent.
Okay. Oh boy. White cis women, we need to talk. Take a deep breath. And
It's the first time you open your mouth without stuffing something in it. All right, here we go.
let's talk. Some of you just now reacted to me saying cis.
Because you're a fucking idiot. Stop saying shit. Stop using language that's unnecessary. Stop using up valuable oxygen. Please.
That defensiveness comes from white supremacy culture. It's okay to be all up in your feelings like that.
Guess who's up in their feelings? This is common projection. This is someone who's mentally unstable projecting their own feelings onto everyone else. It's okay for you to be up. No, we're frustrated with you making up stupid fucking terms and blaming everyone else for your own lack of purpose in this life. Guarantee you don't have kids. Shocker. And please don't. Please don't reproduce. I'm not telling you to do that, but yeah. Someone got a few too many gatos. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
But it's not okay to use your feelings as an excuse to harm others. We need to pause, allow ourselves to feel our feelings, and process through why those were the feelings that we had.
All right, word salad. You hear that? That kind of sound? Just listen in. And process through why those were the feelings we had. That's soy. That is what soy sounds like. That's what atrazine and glyphosate sound like. That's what soy sounds like. The process. It makes your voice sound like this. Welcome to episode 2479 of the Daily Swole. I'm your host, Papa Swole. It's a terrible side effect of polyunsaturated fatty acids.
And process through why those were the feelings that we had. Then you can address the underlying thought that caused that feeling. Only when we have thoroughly processed our feelings and the underlying thoughts.
She has not said anything yet. She said the same thing and repeated it. Wait.
Will we be in a position to respond appropriately with kindness and thoughtfulness?
Because telling me what to say and what to do is very kind and very thoughtful. I got something for you.
Loud noises!
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
Okay. Thank you for all that information that your chins just told us. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Golf clap. Golf clap.
I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
Coming from the insane woke tards that are trying to literally erase women from the planet. White cis women, we have to talk. No, we don't. You need to eat a fucking steak and go to the fucking gym, please. Mackenzie, on a similar note, I'm a nurse, and the day they start making us say that shit, or anyone calls me a birthing person, the day I'm in labor is at risk of getting bitch slapped. Indeed. No such thing as a birthing person. That's sick shit. It's women. Women are the only ones that have periods. Women are the only ones that give birth. You can call yourself a man. That's interesting, but you're still a woman. That's it. It's not rude. It's not mean. It's just stating facts that are likely to offend someone who is a weak individual. And of course, you can fuck off if that bothers you. Okay. Elizabeth. Okay, soldiers, who's taking that one? Ooh, dick draft. My goodness.
We choose truth over facts.
You switch the samples.
Who wants to take that one? Talk about taking one for the team. My God, your dick is just going to shrivel up. No, please, no. Please, no. Let's see. Danielle, I'm a woman that never had a kid by choice. What does that make me? Makes you a woman. That doesn't have kids. And that's okay. All right. Let us continue. All right.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Fuck. Okay, well, we covered this woman a while ago. Oh, God. This is in the folder. It's the title of this video. In the folder, the name of the file says save this for last. So obviously, this is deemed to be viewed last because I'm probably going to lose my fucking mind. So when it's put in my folder and it says save this for last, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. The response, the TikTok question that's on this video says, can you say white properly? It's so annoying. So I saw that and I remembered this is that woman who, yeah, let's get Howard out. Good call, Mark. This is the woman that was going white. Remember that? She was like hawking a loogie every time she said the term white. So I'm already pissed off. This is already irking me. So let's just do it. Yeah, Dan's like, oh no. Oh no. All right.
What's in the box? I got hairy legs.
All right. Save this for last. Let's just get over with.
Hi there. You must be new to my account. I say white to remind people that white supremacy is everywhere.
Okay, Mr. Miyagi. Fucking hell. I'm going to just soundboard the shit out of you.
Well, I'll be damned.
Okay. Oh, God, what a cunt. I have nothing else to say about that.
Because in order for true equality to happen, white supremacy has to be dismantled. And
white supremacy is exceptionally rare and actually hard to find. This is why it's being, I don't know, thrown around. It doesn't exist the way you think it does. So keep barking. You are damaging. You're damaging the people that you're claiming to help. Okay.
a lot of people are not even aware of their use of whiteness unless someone like me points it out by calling it white. In your case, you as a white woman.
Oh my God. I can't listen to this shit. Oh my God. So she's a racist. Anyone that's obsessively talking about racism is themselves a racist. You're literally like these neo racists, the modern left, the Democratic Party for the most part. I know there's a lot of people that don't consider themselves racist, but you're associating yourself with those types of lunatics in this messaging, because what you're doing is essentially obsessing over it, bringing it to the surface over and over and over again, and you're just creating a divide. You're diminishing the actual issues, the rare occurrences that when situations actually take place. It's the boy who cried wolf. Like, you're literally yelling about it all the time. Now it's crazy. I just remember when I was little, like 15, 20 years ago, if you were called a racist or someone said that, it was a real insult. It was a huge, huge thing to lob at someone. It wasn't something that you just said like, oh, you're a butt face. Now it's just like, oh, you're a racist. Everything is. It just completely obliterated the word and made it worthless. Everyone's tuning it out, which is really dangerous for many reasons, because the meaning of racism is the same, but the power that the word had and like the actual severity of it has been diminished, which means that it's just going to get more accelerated. So now you're going to have to use a different word. You're going to have to use a different phrasing. It's going to get more and more serious and more severe because you're trying to get a rise out of someone. You're trying to find a more severe term. And it's like, there's not much more to go. There's not much further to go on that tip. Like, white supremacy is exceptionally rare. It's exceptionally infrequent. It's really not a major place in our society at all until you're bringing it back. Now it is because you're hearing about it every last place and everyone's white supremacy. When's the last time you saw someone in the KKK? When's the last time you saw someone walking down the street with a fucking hood on? When's the last time you heard, like, when's the last time? When's the last time you crossed someone that was like actually a white supremacist? You don't. You haven't. Like, what? It's not something that people go around, pretty much like everyone who's a millionaire athlete is black or from, when's the last time you saw a white basketball player? Like, legit. When's the last, football player, baseball player. It's just like, where's the inequality? Now, I'm not saying that everyone has the same starting point. There are a lot of improvements we need to make. We need to stop we need to stop sending hundreds of billions of dollars to fucking Ukraine and shit like that and invest in our country. That's a whole other conversation. So if you're going to be complaining about equality, then stop funding fucking proxy wars, please. So, there's a lot of issues, and trust me, go do anything in your life today. You're not going to come into any contact with racism. The vast majority of people. Anyway, let's continue. Maybe we can make it through. This is just retarded.
Telling an Asian woman how to speak on her account is a pretty privileged mindset.
No, you just happen to be Asian. So again, this victim, okay, I can't wait to tear you apart. I'm calling you retarded not because you're Asian, it's because you're retarded. This person's not saying that because you're Asian. They're saying it because you're being stupid and you're saying stupid shit. And you're an idiot. It has nothing. You just happen to be Asian. You happen to be Asian and also an idiot. Like, you could be stupid and have any type of eye shape and heritage and genetics. You could be stupid from there. You could be an idiot from any country. I don't care what color your skin is. You could be stupid as fuck. Case in point. Okay. So it has nothing to do with you being Asian. You just happen to be, you're a stupid person that happens to be Asian.
Because I would have never thought to go to your account and say, hey, your
as she goes to her account and says, hey, fill in the blank.
Face is really annoying. You should change your profile photo.
As she goes to that person's page and says your face is annoying and you should change your profile photo. Got it.
I would never say that to you. Like that.
You just did.
Would have never crossed my mind. Like, who am I to tell you that?
A petty person that's racist and obviously mean-spirited and ignorant. Let's continue.
You should have awareness of your actions. You as a white woman.
This is so fucking painful.
Telling me how to speak is tone policing. And
what? Tone policing.
Matt Damon.
No, it's called someone having an opinion that you don't like. I'll say it. You can call me whatever you want. You're an idiot. You're annoying. You're saying stupid shit that makes no fucking sense. You're desperate for attention, and you're getting a lot of responses of, you're getting a lot of engagement. You're getting a lot of engagement. You just sound like a fucking idiot. You just sound stupid. Tone policing. You just don't like it. It's not tone policing. You can't label everything and play the victim for everything. You're just factually being a moron, and your feelings are hurt. So you're projecting it as if it's everyone else's fault. No, you're just annoying and people don't like your content. So change it up or continue to get messages you don't like. But people thrive off this stuff. And people that do this kind of stuff on TikTok, it's like they use TikTok as like video Twitter. They just want to create conflict because they get engagement, they get views, and people are talking shit. And then when they drop more negative comments, they have more replies available that they can reply to. And look, we're covering it. We're covering it just because it's a ridiculous video that was posted from libs at TikTok. But, this is kind of stupid stuff that needs pushback. Because a lot of people aren't going to push back on this. Like, oh, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm afraid. I don't give a shit. I'm not saying anything that's untrue. And it's my opinions. And I hope she doesn't like my opinions. I'm sure that she wouldn't. She's not going to like it. I just don't care.
That's a behavior that's very common among white women.
Stop being such a twat. A twat. Twat.
You may have not intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you. So that's why I say white, to raise your awareness. Because it's so ingrained in you, you may not realize it. And maybe next time when you're about to do the very same thing, my annoying white will ring in your ear and stop you. So, you're welcome.
Well, me hate you long time. You are really annoying. Really annoying. Okay, I'm glad it's over. All right. Look, this kind of stuff is ridiculous and nonsensical. This is why I was saved for last, because it was exceptionally painful to watch and to listen to. But it doesn't say anything about other people. Yes, it is annoying, pretty much objectively so. Yes, she's very ignorant. Yes, she's doing that for views. Does she actually believe that stuff? Well, I mean, it's like, if you're a racist, why are you posting about it? Just think about it. You are a racist, so you make TikToks about how you are a racist. It's like, that's a weird flex, don't you think? It's a weird flex to talk about how you're racist. Like, if you're constantly talking about white supremacy, she's obviously hateful towards white women and white people. No, I'm just being compassionate. It's only people that are white supremacists. Well, according to her, everyone's fucking like a white supremacist. And white supremacy is everywhere. So she's actively anti-white, which is a fucking creepy thing. So it's like, it's just weird. Like, when you're Asian or if you're black in today's culture, you're able to say whatever the fuck you want. And I hate this term because it's not real. When people say reverse racism, that wasn't said there at all. But I still see that in some places, reverse racism. No. It's not reverse racism. You are racist. If you're a black person and you hate white people because they're white, it's not reverse racism. It's racism. If you're Asian and you hate white people, it's racism because you hate them because they're white. White cis women, she hates. She's a racist. So it's very fucking weird. It's very fucking weird that people are actively admitting and promoting the fact that they're racist. It's like, that's not a flex. That's not a badge of honor you wear. Like, hey, I'm a racist. Look at me. Fucking white women. That's really creepy. And like I said, I'm an equal opportunity hater. You know, I'll make fun of you. I don't care what your skin color is. If you say stupid shit, you say stupid shit. If you're an idiot, you're an idiot. If you're a retard, you're a retard. I don't care where you're from. Like that dumb biche, I don't give a shit that she's Asian. She's just a fucking moron. She just happens to be of the Asian persuasion. Okay. It's a side note. It's a side note in the stupidity of that fucking video. Okay. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Crazy. Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
All right. So let's give away a swole card, fam. How about a swole card? How about them swole cards? Oh my God.
I got hairy legs.
Daddy is on fire today. How about that swole card? Anyone? Swole slut? Let's do it. Falcon. Come on now. Here we go. Falcon, take us away. Swole card time, beaches. We got a swole slut in our midst? I think we do. Oh, we got it. We got a swole slut. Hey-oh. Fam-wise, today's swole card winner, Matthew Jones. Congratulations. Matthew, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2479 in the subject, your mailing address. in the body of the email. And we'll send you a Swole card, fam. Let's take some soundboard requests. That was insane, Gold member. You're insane.
You're insane, Gold member.
It was a good show. It was a good show. Man, that last video was rough. Let's get a little tainty man in closing. Oh. I know it was rough. That was probably was that actually the most painful video that we've ever covered? I think that was the most painful one. Oh, God. It was just her voice, oh, it's awful. It was really bad, like really awful. It was really uncomfortable, but, you know, we did it.
Shut up, bitch!
We did it, we made it. That's what I should, yes. Yes, I missed the opportunity for that one.
What is the best move to silence a woman?
What's the best move to silence a woman? That would have, yeah. Like every soundboard had the opportunity, right? Every soundboard would have been acceptable. Every single one.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in baseball!
And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
We got it now, fam. We got it. Here we go.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
How shall we fuck off, oh Lord?
Oh, baby.
Wow. 60% of the time, it works every time. That doesn't make sense.
Make me happy.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I got it. Ready? Coast to coast. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do. Crank it up, fam. Leave us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Please hit those 5 stars and write a review if you have the option. And if you have not yet, hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure you do so. Also, SwoleNormousX.com. Join the fam today. Tomorrow is Ask Papa Swole Live. So many questions tomorrow. And go check out yesterday's DWG for members inside Swole TV. Fucking awesome. Man, that video was brutal. But tomorrow, we just take lots of questions, lots of knowledge cock. We go deep tomorrow. We go absolutely deep. We go really deep. It's balls deep, it's knowledge cock, but it's extra deep knowledge cock on Sundays. So we'll see you tomorrow. And any questions that we didn't get to today, we'll get to tomorrow. And make sure you head on over to askpapaswole.com if you want to submit a question for tomorrow's show. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow for 2480. Peace, McGee, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my